Here, if you are a fan of stats, I have a few I can read off to you. We have the Tusculum Pioneers hitting a 400%, excuse me, hitting 400 as a team. Lee's McRae hitting 182 as a team. So Pioneers doing a little bit better in that regard. Looks like both teams stuck with the same lineup for this next set. And we have Blanco on the back line serving. Marsan's getting a hold of that. Peters chasing it down, and Kuntz giving a rollover. Knight getting a good hand on that, and Maselli sending a free ball over. Marsan's tries to go for it, and it slips through his fingers, unfortunately. Point for the Pioneers. Blanco serving again here. Marsan's to Peters. Peters trying to get a hand on it. Peters to Gardner. And Kuntz with a beautiful block there. There's a lot happening, but Peters ends up with the kill for the Bobcats as they gain that point. See Peters on the back line serving for the Bobcats. Knight getting that to Blanco. Back to Scott. Peters giving that to Kuntz from the right side, and he gets the kill. As the ball just barely nicks the back line. Point Bobcats. Peters serving here again. Knight passing that to Blanco. To Amarin out of the middle with a big kill. Point Pioneers. Scott on the back line serving. Knowles giving that to Peters. To Sims on the outside as he gets the kill. Point Bobcats. Kuntz serving here. Scott giving that to Blanco. To Maselli, who gets blocked, but it goes out of bounds, so they get the point. Amarin on the back line to serve. Kuntz giving that to Peters. To Marsans, who hits it in the net. Point for the Pioneers. Amarin back to serve again. Knowles with a bit of an overpass there. Blanco to Maselli, who hits it out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. They're all very excited about that one. Gardner on the back line to serve for the Bobcats. Scott to Blanco to Maselli as he gets the kill. Seen a lot of celebrating through the net, and the refs aren't really saying anything. I'd like to see if that gets called at any point through the night. Kate on the back line to serve here for the Pioneers. Ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Sims on the back line to serve. Scott to Blanco to Maselli with another kill. Maselli rotating back to serve again. The ball goes way out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Knight giving that to Blanco, to Scott, who tips it over. Peters with a tip. Grant giving that to Blanco, who sends a free ball over. And Backer with a big kill out of the middle. Big kill out of the middle. Point for the Bobcats. Scott giving that to Blanco. Back out to Scott, who goes for the tip again, but Knowles gets a pancake. Peter sends a free ball over. Knight to Blanco. To Maselli from the back row, and he gets the kill and celebrates through the net again. Come on, ref. And Tusculum gets a yellow card. Not sure if that's for the celebrating or for a delay of game, as the the libero decides he wants to play front row for them. I think that's what it was. Yep. Game begins again as Grant is about to serve. Kuntz giving that to Peters. To Kuntz again, who tips it over. Kate to Blanco. To Maselli, who gets blocked back. Point Bobcats. Maselli to Blanco to Scott. They're called for a double, and Maselli tries to talk to the ref about it. The ref is not having it with Maselli tonight. A little bit of miscommunication there. Knight with a hit. Marsands to Kuntz. Kate diving for that one. Scott going for a kill and sends it out of bounds. Point Bobcats. Bobcats are unfortunately called in the net for that one. And the Pioneers gain the point. See Blanco on the back line serving. And he is called for another foot fault. Second one of the night for Blanco. You know, that's tough, but it's also a very easy fix. Start your approach about one step back, and that won't happen. We see Peters on the back line to serve for the Bobcats. Knight giving an overpass, sending it out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Peters on the back lines to serve again. Knight getting under that ball. Kate going for a kill. Gardner tries to get a hand on it, and it falls right in front of him, unfortunately. Point for the Pioneers. Scott serving here. Marsands to Peters to Gardner from the middle. Knight sending it to Maselli, who sends it out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Kuntz rotating back to serve for the Bobcats. Knight giving that to Blanco to Maselli, who gets a kill. Amarin on the back line to serve. Knowles giving that to Peters to Sims, who's blocked but saves it. Peters to Gardner. Blanco to Maselli. Knowles getting a great hand on that. Kuntz. Sims sending a free ball over. Unfortunately, it goes out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Amarim on the back line to serve again. Ball goes almost under the net. Point for the Bobcats. Gardner on the back line serving. Maselli sending a free ball over and getting a kill off the free ball. Kate on the back line to serve for the Pioneers. Kuntz giving that to Peters. Back to Sims, who is blocked. Kuntz saves it and sends it into the stands. Kate serving here again. Ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Sims on the back line to serve. Scott to Grant. Back to Scott. Sims trying to get a hand on it. Unfortunately, it goes right through. Point Pioneers. Maselli rotating back to serve. Ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Marsands serving. Ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Grant now rotating back to serve for the Pioneers. Ball goes out of bounds. That is now 3 in a row missed serves. See if we can get a fourth, huh? Just kidding. Backer on the back line to serve for the Bobcats. Let's keep it in. Knight passing that to Blanco, to Scott. Backer trying to get a hand on it. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Point for the Pioneers. We see Blanco on the back line serving. Marsands giving that to Peters, to Sims from the back row. Fortunately, it goes just outside the back line. Point for the Pioneers. They take the lead 17-16. Blanco serving here again. Knowles getting that to Peters, to Kuntz on the outside. Knight to Blanco, to Scott on the outside. Scott gets the kill. Point Pioneers. And the Bobcat coach will call a timeout. We will be back shortly. All right, volleyball fans, coming out of that timeout, the Pioneers have the serve, and they're in the lead 18-16, 1-0. Blanco serving. Marsan's giving a free ball. Knight to Blanco, to Maselli. Peters back to Sims. Knight with a good dig, but an overpass, and Kuntz gets a hold of it. Sends it right back down to their side. Point Bobcats. Peters serving here. Knight getting that to Blanco, to Amarim out the middle. Null's trying to give Sims a pass, but it goes over the net, and luckily they get the kill. Point Bobcats. Now tied at 18. Knight getting a hold of that. And Kate coming in for the kill. Point Pioneers. Bobcats trying to compose themselves for a moment. We see Scott on the back line for the Pioneers serving. Ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Kuntz is on the back line to serve for the Bobcats. And he gets an ace. Point Bobcats. Now taking the lead 20-19. Maselli giving a overpass. And Sims with a big kill for the Bobcats from the right side. We now see the Pioneers calling a timeout. We will be back shortly. Coming out of that timeout, your Bobcats have the lead and the serve. 21-19. As we see Kuntz getting ready to take his approach. Knight to Blanco, to Maselli. Hitting it off the top of Sims' head. Unfortunately, no one can track it down. Point for the Pioneers. Now trailing by 1. Amarim on the back line to serve. Knowles. Peters sending a free ball over. Blanco to Maselli. Gets the kill. Maselli trying to argue with the ref, but he is 100% wrong. He's saying that Peters jumped on that block when he literally put his hands right underneath the tape, and it just so happened to hit his hands. And another timeout now. We will be up ref now telling the floor captain that Maselli needs to stop talking to him because he is not the floor captain. Then we see Amarin back to serve. Knowles to Peters, to Kuntz from the back row. Maselli getting the point there. Knowles giving that to Peters to Gardner with a big kill out of the middle. It's exactly what the Bobcats needed. Now tying the game at 22. And Gardner will rotate back to serve. Scott giving that to Blanco. To Maselli as he is. To Maselli as he is blocked straight back down. Point for the Bobcats. Gardner back to serve. Knight giving that to Blanco, back to Kate. And Kuntz getting a great hand on that. Unfortunately, no one can track it down. Point for the Pioneers. We're now tied at 23. Second set. Kate back to serve. Kuntz to Peters to Sims. Scott to Knight to Maselli. Peters just not really knowing what to do with that. Pioneers now looking at set point as Kate is on the back line ready to serve. Ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats. Sims rotating back to serve for the Bobcats. Sims with a big ace for the Bobcats. Now bringing them to the lead, 25-24. And they have set point now. We will be right back. All right, volleyball fans, coming out of that timeout, your Bobcats have the lead, 25-24. If you did not know, in volleyball, you do have to win by 2 points. So let's see if they can do it. Sims on the back line to serve. Scott getting a hold of that. Oh, a lot of stuff going on, but Peters with a kill, giving the Bobcats the win, now tying 1-1.